Hey everyone, welcome back to another wrestling review. That's right, this time the man, the myth, the legend himself, Caps has returned. He will be joining us on our Elimination Chamber review for tonight. Below me, as always, Caps is off to my right, and Campo below me. Get the names correct this time.
Campo I will not below you.
Exactly, you are actually in the video. You are. Man who reviews TVs, movies, and now wrestling. Look out for the Ant-Man review coming soon on that guy's channel. I will have the link in the description when the video is available. So with that out of the way, Elimination Chamber 2023. It's a half decent event.
It was a half decent.
It was a really good event.
And compared to the trash that we've got lately, some of the trash, let's say, be honest.
This was actually a pretty good event. First thing off the bat, I noticed no Pat McAfee, so you must have been happy.
Oh, I still had Corey Graves, so that's not very helpful. But
oh yeah, and he was in his Corey Gravesist in this match. So with that, let's get right into it. The first match was the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Oscar, Carmela, Raquel, Nikki Cross, Natalia, and Liv Morgan. Now, before we get into this, both you and my brother and myself, we all picked Oscar to win this match.
Yeah, well, let's be honest. No matter how high you are on Raquel or Liv Morgan's progression, none of these people even deserve to be in this match except Oscar.
Yeah.
There's no one left to fight Bianca that's qualified now that Rhea's going to fight Charlotte Flair.
Or believable.
Yeah, that's more what I meant. But yeah, correct.
Yeah, because the other 5 women are not on the level. Maybe Natalia, but...
Yeah, but this is how I think of it. It's funny that you said that. Our conversation during the match was Natalia is so improperly used. She's older now, obviously. Yeah. And in women's wrestling, they don't usually last as long as men's wrestling. But, however, she's been treated as an enhancement talent where she's here more to coach them behind the scenes, and then on screen she's there to lose. And for me, when you're so short on talent in your division and you have someone as good as her, why are you still using her like that?
Yeah. They're underutilizing her, which is funny too. We all watched the event, but none of us watched together. We all watched it with one of our buddies.
Yeah, that's funny. Actually.
I mean, I watched it with my brother Fab, even though he wasn't here.
Wait, you watch it like through a phone call?
Yeah, so we were like this, literally on a Zoom call while we each had our own feed.
Hey, well, you should do that.
Well, the guy lives an hour away from me. He can't expect him to come here.
I don't live next to you, but
yeah, still closer than.
Well, we're talking about something completely different.
Yeah. First thing I noticed, Carmela got bigger implants.
The first thing I noticed is, and you don't like, I mean this to be rude because I hate her. She's ugly as hell. Like she looks like a horse that got hit with a shovel, and I hope Corey Graves hears this. I'll
tag him in the.
But yeah, it's like I just can't even look at her, and I know it's not about being good looking, but she's just. I hate the fact that she's being pushed at all. She can't wrestle. She's not even a good heel.
Yeah,
she can't talk on the mic, and on top of it, she's one of the ugliest human beings I've ever seen in my entire life.
I can't follow that.
Nobody can. One thing I did notice, besides the fact that, what is it with every participant? The entrance takes so long that every person that comes to the chamber has to go to each pod and taunt each guy.
And I hate that. If I was a wrestler, if I, like specifically, I'm not. So I'm Carmelo could probably beat me up. But my point is, if I'm a wrestler in the ring and my character is at all someone that I want to feel legitimate, I'm not wasting my time talking to anybody. I'm getting in the ring and I'm flexing and doing my little show, and that's it. I'm standing and waiting for my turn or getting in my pod. Every single person did it in both matches.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. It was more in the women's match than it was in the men's, I noticed.
But in the men's match, they still all walked around the ring and sat and like looked at everybody.
Yeah, it's very true. Very true. You have Natalia and Liv starting the chamber. That makes the most sense to have Natalia in there. She is your workhorse.
Yeah.
In this match. And Oscar.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm so just done with the WWE women's division.
I mean, there were a couple cool spots. Like there was Nikki jumping off the top of the pod and doing the crossbody. There was that 6 sunset flip by Liv on Raquel from the top of the pod. Like
but that's like, I'm not going to sit here and take away from that because these are reasons the match was good, and I'm not going to not rate it good because of this. But when you're watching other promotions and seeing the stuff that happens, this is not like remarkable to me. It's for me, if in this match in any other company, there would have been 30 spots off the top of the pods. People would have climbed up to the top of the elimination chamber and jumped through the hole. Like,
I think too, the fact that they're not allowed to show color. I really takes away from the match too.
My very first thing I said was when Raquel got blasted through was it Raquel that got knocked through the chamber?
The pod.
Bleeding in that spot would have been perfect. You would have sold how impactful that move was to me, but instead it just looked like, oh, we fell through
not
thing.
Not like Moxley the other night where you see him sitting in the corner. He's just like,
well, we did see that. It's funny on a few things.
But I mean, it wasn't, all in all, it wasn't a bad match. They did the whole Liv Morgan passes out again from the pain.
They trying to protect her?
Maybe.
Well, she got a double submission, wasn't it? That her?
Yeah. One person they're not trying to protect is Nikki, because she went out before all the competitors were in.
Nikki, once again, is someone who they're treating like fodder for matches. It's not that she's as good as Johnny Gargano. We were talking about this earlier, not on this show, but
off camera. Yeah.
It's just weird to me because you gave her the character change as if you were preparing her for a new push, but then she's just like there now.
Yeah. But
she's the little version of Piper Niven.
Yeah. And then towards the end of the match, your last 2 competitors were Carmela and Oscar. And a few times the way Corey was talking, I was actually afraid Carmela was going to win.
Yeah, there was a legitimate point where I was like, oh, he's clearly paid them off, or he's made a deal with them behind the scenes for her to win. And I'm not watching another WrestleMania where the women's champion is going to fight Carmela.
Yeah, but in the end, our picks were correct. The right person won. It was Oscar. I think it's going to be one hell of a match, Oscar versus Belair at Mania.
It's now or never.
Yes, they need to pull the trigger. They need to pull the trigger. It's, Bianca's had the belt for a year, and Bianca was a great champion.
She's proven herself.
Yeah, you can take the belt away from her now, and it won't take anything away from Belair. And here now you can have the babyface chase for the belt back.
I think what you need to do, yeah, exactly, have her chase for the belt back, and in the meantime, find her a tag partner and let her win the tag championship so it adds to her resume.
Yeah,
and then put her back in the title picture because Oscar needs to win now. Oscar needs to win now. Yeah, there you go. Her and Becky, exactly. And they both hate the damage control. So
right, and which was supposed to be on this card, but it's not. It was supposed to be Becky and Lita against Damage Control.
Well, I think
because
they want Trish to be part of it.
Yeah,
so
and they're holding that for Mania. I think. Yeah, I mean, it was a good match. It wasn't a bad match. Better than the latter match, Money in the Bank a few months back.
I'm not going to say it was good, but it was serviceable. But once again, I do think you need to start off with a high impact short match. You can't start off with a main event type match I consider both of the Elimination Chamber matches to the main event.
The second match should have been the opening match.
Yes. Caps, you haven't said anything yet. Well, how do you feel?
I'm just listening to you guys because you guys are making some really, really good points. And
we've done this a few times now.
But I started watching this event like midway through this match. From what I saw, I mean, I think it was right around the time that Raquel got eliminated is when I started watching it.
Okay.
It was a decent match. It was okay. I mean, pretty good opener. But yeah, it just kind of set the tone for the rest of the event. I can tell you that much for me.
So, I mean, there was entertainment value in this match. I just don't think it was up to where it should have been. But then again, look at the roster of people they put on it.
Yeah.
You had Carmela.
What was I talking? I was talking with Fab that night, and we were saying there's so many other women out there that should have been in that match that would have made it more credible. You could have put Why did you
Someone
have
from
Carmela
Damage
in there
Control?
and you could have put Becky in there? You could have put Bailey in there. You could have even put Io Sky in there.
Yeah,
You could have put any one of the Damage Control people, and it would have been a better match.
Piper Niven.
The only person that would have lowered the quality of this match would have been Shotzi,
Well, yeah.
because she would have tried to climb up something and fell off.
Yeah. But I mean, there are other options out there. Bliss wasn't even in the match.
Yeah, but I mean, I think they're trying something with her, so
I think something's going to happen with her and the Fiend at Mania. Again.
yeah, like a softcore porn.
Yeah, we all know what happened last time. He was fired from the company. And she stole his gimmick. Well,
No
they gave her his gimmick. Next match, we had Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar, the rubber match. I don't know. That's all I have written down for this match. I don't know. What was the point of this match?
I have no
It was
idea.
a 4-minute match.
Listen,
basically-
because it's 4 minutes and not much happened, I can't really knock the pay-per-view for even having this match.
No.
Because it was just, even if it wasn't good, it was just over.
So does
And-
this match not count and they're going to have a bigger match at Mania?
I don't know, because it was finisher.
Then a kick to the
finisher
nuts.
from both guys. A double kick to the nuts, by the way, which the
Yeah.
second one I think was on purpose to actually kick him in the nuts.
Yeah. To show, and the referee called it at that point. The referee called a disqualification on Brock Lesnar. Bobby Lashley goes over. Fab was the only one that got this pick right.
Yeah, but it's like
But this match made no sense. It served no purpose.
and all their matches serve no purpose. Like they all had botch finishes or something.
there's
like
no
that.
goddamn wrestling when these two fight.
And the thing is, they're both MMA fighters.
One guy does a spear, one guy does an F5. One guy does a spear, one guy does an F5. Hurt locker, breaks out. F5, hurt locker. Okay, the
German
match is
suplex.
over.
German
Yeah, like,
suplex. Like, and the match, you would have thought somebody goes through the barricade. They didn't.
no, but we called someone would go through the barricade, and it just didn't happen to be in this match.
It just didn't happen.
But it's like no, and there's one thing I want to stop. Okay, just stop with the table. Stop with the table. No more table. If you're not going to use a real table and put someone through a table, just no more tables. Because what
Yeah,
you're doing,
that announce table's so gimmicked. I
you're
don't
landing
like
on
that.
top of a table and it's falling down to the ground. You're not breaking through the table. So stop doing this spot. It makes no sense to me. Like
It
you're
collapses.
you're doing a regular inside the ring move. It makes no difference because when you hit it, the table doesn't break. It just drops down.
Yeah, and they've done it. They did it twice, I think, on this show. Not just once, twice.
Just enough with the table. No more table.
And Brock F5's the referee. F5 through the table, like you said. It was.
Which was off script, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the referee's very mad about it.
Oh, he wasn't supposed to get the F5.
He wasn't supposed to get F5'd at all a second time, and then not only that, he dropped him on the table.
But it's Brock. Brock doesn't give a shit.
Well, he did it at the last pay-per-view too, where he attacked the referee outside the ring, and that was not supposed to happen either.
Yeah.
And he didn't get in trouble for that. So
But what happens here? Is there a Mania match?
I don't care at this point, because not only like I've grown to like both of these guys more than I did coming into wrestling. But at the same time, both of them have no purpose right now. And I'd rather this than have one of them be in the title picture and steal the title. Because it just is what it is. Would I
Yeah.
watch this again in a real match? Yes, I would. But do I care about it? No, not really.
I think this is going to be an MMA rules match at Mania.
Yeah, make it a hardcore match. I don't care.
You think people will be excited to see this match again?
No.
For the fourth time?
But that's
It's-
WWE. So if their fans are still coming, they know what they're expecting.
Mhm.
Every single match is 4 times.
There was a point in the 2010s. How many times did we see Sheamus versus Randy Orton?
It's like, how many times do we watch Sheamus and friends fight Gunther or
Yeah.
friends?
Yeah, they just go back to the well every time. At least the women's chamber match was something different. Same thing with the men's.
How many
And,
times do you watch Brock fight friggin' Roman Reigns in a
9
row?
times. Bobby goes over. I'm sure there's gonna be a rematch. Next goes to one of the best matches. Well, I mean, there were only 5 matches on the card, but this was a really good match. The Judgment Day versus Edge and Beth. I'm just tired of Dominic, but other than that,
You can't dispute the fact that he's over.
Dominic?
Like it's such a
He's got
ridiculous
heat,
way.
but I don't know if it's the good
Okay.
kind of heat.
You
know what I mean?
Both of you just said exactly what I was thinking. He has heat. It's not the good kind of heat. He's over, but in the most ridiculous way. He's over for being a gimp. Like people are
Yeah.
laughing at him.
Yeah,
That's why he's over.
Like
As
there were
long as-
chants of
cheering
F you,
for him.
F you Dominic throughout the whole night.
As long as he's getting a reaction.
I agree, but it's the kind of dumb heat that you find on like the indies where it's like this person doesn't even deserve to be talked about. There's nothing they've done that is worthy of me talking about
Yeah.
you. But everyone's talking about you.
It all depends what he does with it too. Like I guess
He's got to learn to wrestle first.
yeah. But I mean, I saw there were some botches with this match.
Yeah.
I felt that the heat that whatever kind of heat Dominic was getting was taking away from the match.
Yeah.
But,
I'm surprised they let Beth and Rhea go as long as they did. Could Edge still be slightly hurt?
I don't know.
Because
Personally, I
80%
don't
of the
know.
match was Beth and Rhea in the match.
Yeah.
I'm so okay. The match wasn't bad at all.
No, it wasn't.
It was a decent watch. My issue here is I don't care about the storyline at all. I have zero interest in it. I never liked Beth Phoenix. I still don't like Beth Phoenix. I don't think she's that good. But the storyline makes it worse for me because it feels like
The wrong team went over.
the wrong team went over, and on top of that, you were building this storyline, and I cared. And then you cut it off. Whether it was an injury or not is irrelevant. You cut it off and you introduced a whole new storyline that went for 2 pay-per-views with another whole group of people. And now you're bringing this back like I'm
Well,
supposed to
AJ's
care?
out for 5 months or something like that.
But that's what I mean. So you put aside one storyline because of injury, went to a new one, and now you went back to the old one because someone got injured. Like, who cares at this point? I don't care.
Yeah. This does make more sense than no, because the OC is like, I mean, they even talked about, like you said, this Bullet Club versus Bullet Club, the fact that they actually referenced New Japan in that match that way back. I don't even remember when it was, but was it Hell in a Cell? No.
Crown Jewel.
Yeah. But you say the wrong team went over. I'm the only one who picked Edge and Beth to go over in this match because my thought is there's going to be an Edge versus Finn match, but it's going to be the Demon at Mania.
Okay, so from what I just found out, which I'll send you the links for it, there's multiple sources reporting that WWE told him he's never allowed to do the Demon again.
Really?
Yeah, he was
Why?
supposed to do it in this match, and they didn't want him to do it.
But why though?
I don't know. I guess they just don't like the character.
But the
Okay.
character doesn't maybe fit.
We'll see. It could just be like internet chit chat, but it seemed like a lot of outlets were reporting it.
It could have been just a Vince thing.
Maybe. But like, if it can, but to make this better for me, because at this point, in the end, no one wants Finn to win. So you're gonna let Finn lose twice now in this match, and then again.
No, he won't lose as the Demon.
That's my point. So, but
And Edge will go away after that because he's got to film that movie or whatever it is.
I don't know. I'm not gonna speculate too much on things. I think we'll go too deep into that if we start. But
Yeah,
it
just
seemed
from-
weird that you let them lose.
Yeah.
Exactly. I just felt like, I mean, what's her name? Rhea Ripley's in line for a championship match at WrestleMania.
But she
And
didn't take
this-
the loss. She dominated whenever she was in the ring with Beth.
Yeah, I get that. It's just that if you're trying to make this group look strong, why have them lose this match against a person that's actually on his way out later on this year? I don't know. Just
Yeah,
know what
you're
I
right.
mean?
That doesn't make sense. I agree with that the wrong person did go over.
but you know,
Yeah,
It still wasn't. It wasn't a bad match. Let's not let that take it away from it. But
fair enough. The match in the ring was good, and I'm not
Yeah.
one that for caring for storylines, but I only watch WWE for the storyline.
yeah, you know, the
It's the
in-ring
opposite.
performance is a bonus.
It's the opposite of me watching any other wrestling.
Yeah. So fourth match on the night is the men's chamber match. Austin Theory, Montez Ford. I still call him Jonah. It's Bronson Reed. I don't know why.
Yeah,
still
I
call him-
called him Jonah all night.
Yeah. Damian Priest, Johnny Gargano, and Seth freaking Rollins.
So
yeah,
wait,
I mean,
okay, go. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I don't care for any of these competitors, but this is probably the match of the night.
The match was
I'm just
excellent.
saying.
Yeah,
Excellent.
it was a fantastic match.
And the move, okay, I called that Hurricane Rana off the chamber. By the way, I called it way before it happened. I'm like, they're gonna get up. Finn's gonna try, or Rollins is gonna try to do a move, and he's gonna get Hurricane Rana off the top, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, but I
And
digress.
I thought he almost died.
Rollins is
Damian
an
Priest.
excellent wrestler. Rollins was far head and shoulders above the rest of the team of people here, which to me,
Yes.
I find weird that he's part of this, but I guess they really want to push him in this division and help get Austin Theory over. Second, Jonah, I don't know. I just don't know. So I proposed the question to Danny, and I want to see what your guys' opinions are on this. And not everyone's going to feel the same way. He made a good argument from the other end. We ended up like kind of meeting in the middle. But if you were going to be pushed to be a Vader-esque character in Japan, you were going to be huge. You were going to put like set a place for yourself in the world of wrestling that you might not have been in the mainstream and have been super popular. But when you die, you'll be remembered as a legendary wrestler who did his shit in the ring. Or would you rather get the money and the fame in WWE? Would you rather be known when you die as one of the greatest wrestlers, or just that you were in WWE and were popular?
So Jonah, Bronson Reed, whatever his name is, said this in an interview. His goal was never to be in New Japan. His goal was always to come back to WWE.
To do nothing.
Yeah, well, that was his goal. And we
You're
can thank Fab for that nugget.
You're the seventh string guy in the U.S. title division, because I'm counting Bobby Lashley still in that division.
Yeah, and Montez Ford is ahead of you, who's a tag team
They're
wrestler.
all ahead of him. Johnny Gargano, like we said, we were talking about this before the match. Johnny Gargano is too talented to be where he is right now. They're Finn Baloring him, and they're Shinsuke Nakamura-ing him. They're Tommaso Ciampa-ing him.
Well, Ciampa's hurt. He's still hurt.
None of them get pushes.
Yeah.
Like, they're all just there to be fodder for someone else.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. But I mean, other than that, like I said, let's not have that on take away from the match itself. This was an excellent match. The fact that Gargano and Rollins started the match, and they had that great spot of about 2 minutes of just back and forth chain wrestling, move after move after move, like spot after spot, like right away I was invested in it. Like,
yeah, I mean,
a wrestling match that actually has wrestling in it.
Think that's like a whole thing nowadays.
Wow. But I mean, that was really, really good. The one thing I did notice me and Fab were keeping track of was the intervals. They were inconsistent. One guy was
I
in
didn't
after,
even know there was a time.
yeah, one guy was in after 2 minutes, another guy was in after 3.5 minutes, somebody else was in after 3. Like, the times were inconsistent.
Yeah, but we noticed that at the Rumble too.
Yeah, that's true. So WWE timekeeper needs to get his shit together on that one. But I mean, Reed, when he came in, Bronson Reed, he like started like cleaning house, and I thought, hey, maybe this guy actually might have a chance. And
That's
then
exactly what I said. Then I went to the bathroom and came back, and he was
he
eliminated.
was eliminated. Yeah.
But I thought like people reacted, like they didn't react to him at first, but I think like throughout the match, like they started reacting to him, and I think he kind of made a bit of a name for himself a little bit in this match.
I think he's going to be, but the thing is though, like I said, WWE doesn't like the heel versus heel or the face versus face dynamic. WWE always wants that face versus heel. That's what
which I think it's such a terrible way to do wrestling.
Yeah.
I think if the two people are going to put on a match, let them get behind both. Because when you watch any company that's not WWE, everyone cheers for both guys anyways.
Okay, perfect example. Another event that happened on the same night that I watched right after was New Japan Battle in the Valley, and you had two baby faces in the main event.
Yeah, and you had two heels kind of in Jay White versus Eddie Kingston, and people were cheering for both of them for the whole match.
Yeah, and you don't get any bigger than Tanahashi and Okada in New Japan. Two of the biggest faces there, and
you're telling me people wouldn't pay money to watch Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn? Of course they would. They don't care.
Yeah, let's. But if you want to see the Battle in the Valley review, tune in tomorrow night for that one. But I mean, other than that, like that spot by Montez Ford though, when he climbs to the top of the chamber, he does like that flip and then he just drops himself on top of everybody.
He's good, man. He's good.
Yeah. Do you think they'll finally split them?
No, they're never gonna split them. From what I heard, they're gonna let him go solo, but also keep them as a tag team.
Okay.
Like kind of what they did with the Usos a bit.
New Day.
Yeah, New Day.
Okay. But other than that, like I like there was like that double team blockbuster off the top of the pod too, where Rollins had the guy on his shoulders, and there was a few good spots. It was a really good match.
Really good spots, man. Like this whole event was to a level of entertainment. Like that,
Yeah.
It achieved entertainment.
And that's exactly what it says in their name, right? World Wrestling Entertainment. The only thing was I knew something was up when Montez Ford was injured and they took too long to get him out of the chamber. I knew something was going to come up, and Fab called it. He said Logan Paul is showing up, and sure enough,
you did a lot here. You raised the stock of Logan Paul. You raised the stock of Austin Theory. You gave a showcase to Montez and Gargano and Jonah.
Reed. Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck, I called him Jonah again.
Yeah,
but it to me, that's what WWE did good for this whole thing. You elevated people. Like Raquel got her stock raised from this.
mm-hmm.
Liv Morgan's stock went up huge after this. She still
They're more believable now in the main event picture.
Yeah, and that's what you need to do with these things. That's what these are for.
But I mean, look at Austin Theory 6-8 months ago. Nobody gave a shit about him. Now he's like a really legitimate like heel.
Well, he's working with one of the best heels in wrestling.
Yeah, Seth Rollins is kind of taking him under his wing.
He's really annoying. Like,
well,
Austin
I mean,
Theory
Seth Rollins
really
is kind of in between. Which one?
Seth Rollins. I mean, Austin Theory. He's really annoying, and I like that.
I'd rather have Theory though than Dominic.
Any day. I think Austin Theory is made it. Austin Theory's overness for being what he is because his character is meant to make me annoyed.
He's being a douchey dick.
Dominic's character is like trying to be funny, but it's not. You're just a loser, and it's like, I don't accept that.
So this sets up a few things. I think there may be a 3-way match for the U.S. Championship at Mania. I think it may be Gargano and Reed against Theory, because all three of them have history together. Because Gargano and Reed had a really great series of matches in NXT for the North American Championship.
So you think that's going to happen?
I think so. If Triple H is still running the show, I think, that's what might happen.
I think if you don't make Bronson Reed relevant now, there is no point in ever doing it.
Yeah, he'll end up like Otis.
Oh man, Otis is basically the oh my god, what was his name? The guy that was special.
Oh, Eugene.
He's like the new version of Eugene, but less offensive. He's like the less offensive version of Eugene.
Yeah. Except he's supposed to be a genius, right?
Yeah.
With the Alpha Academy. I mean, but other than that, it was still a good match. It kept me entertained. And this is the first, like I said, since Clash at the Castle. Well, I mean, no, Rumble was good too, but like they put two back-to-back decent shows here. And we go ahead into our main event of the night. The match that had the most interest, and it was the most over match I've seen in a long time, was Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns. This reminds me of Daniel Bryan 10 years ago, when he had to fight his way to the main event against, same idea. Sami Zayn was over huge in this match.
Well, yeah, he's in Montreal. It was good. Listen, and once again, just to like, Roman Reigns is a worker that he can put on a match, especially when you put him with someone who can carry a match. And Sami Zayn, at least in WWE, I've never seen him to this extent just absolutely put the match on his shoulders and just go off. I didn't even know he was this good. Like this, he was so good in this match. His selling, his moveset.
It was also the
everything was
fact that
just
like
so good.
Roman just beats him down, and he has like this attitude, not this attitude, but like I hate to say it because it's John Cena's thing, but this never give up. So like Roman's beating him down, and then there's always this one babyface hope spot that comes back into the mat, and it really thinks, oh wait, maybe Sammy could actually do this. You know what I mean? It had you believing.
It was very New Japan.
Yeah,
the way that this is one of the first matches in the entire time of me watching wrestling again where WWE actually told an in-ring story. Like there was progression in what was happening. They switch sides, and we got it. I called it. It's in the last video where they did a Kevin Owens spot. It's so typical WWE. When you want someone to win, but they're not going to win, they get the 7, 8, 9 count with the ref knocked out, and then they go pick when they go to pick up the ref, someone gets super punched.
And the thing is, too, this is what I didn't like. There were 2 ref bumps. 2 ref bumps, and I was talking, like I said, talking with Fab. I've noticed every Roman Reigns match I've seen he's never won clean.
Well, in 29 matches defenses of the title, there's a whole video on it on YouTube by I think What Culture. In 29 defenses, he's only won, I believe, 7 of them clean.
Which is not good either. If you're supposed to be a dominant heel.
But that's the thing. So WWE...
That's NWO booking.
Yes. So WWE is pushing aside the fact that these are happening and just continuing to push him as dominant, even though he's not truly dominant. And if you look at what they did, they never, ever talk about his past anymore. They're trying to erase all the days when nobody liked him. So, because they legitimately are trying to Hogan him. They want him to go down in history as like the greatest wrestler. And they think they can just make people forget about this stuff. But like there's people online, this is the internet, that spend all day just tracking what he's doing and proving that his run hasn't even been dominant.
Really? So he's only had 29 defenses in 3 years?
Yeah, you could look it up.
Jesus.
It's all there. Like it's all in, like it tells you how
still more than Brock Lesnar.
Tells you how they all ended.
But yeah, I mean, there was one spot where Sammy jumped between the turnbuckle and the ring post, and you see he scratched his stomach from like here down. You see this big, like not a gash, but like he cut himself on the steel hook of the turnbuckle.
That's where it happened.
I couldn't figure out where it happened, but I did notice that he had it, obviously.
Yeah, it was quite noticeable, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, he's done that spot before. He's done that spot when he first joined NXT when he had that series of matches with Cesaro.
Yeah, it's good. This was good.
Yeah, it paid off.
This was a really good match. For Roman Reigns, this was an excellent match.
And Fab said this too, so I don't want to take the credit for him. I'm giving the credit to Fab. Roman Reigns, watch when the ref is counting. He is so good at kicking out of that too. When people
can we talk about something? Can we go all the way back? I'm sorry to cut you off. There was a spot in the mixed tag match where there was like a 7 count before Beth Phoenix broke it up, and nobody, like the crowd.
No, the ref. Yeah. Going back to that match. Yes, the ref did stop counting. I called that. Yes,
he scooped the 3rd count, and they didn't get knocked off for 2 more seconds.
Yeah,
and no, the crowd didn't even react to it.
Yeah, I forgot about that spot, but yes, you're right.
And then it happened again in the Roman Reigns match. So this is where I'm going with this. In the Roman Reigns match, the ref counts 1, 2, and then hits his hand for a 3rd count, but Roman kicks out at the same time, and they didn't end the match. We rewound it like 3 times. I'm like, that was a 3 count.
Yeah, but the way they make it sound is that he kicked out at the last. But when people do kick out, if you notice, they always have that leg twitch before they kick out. Roman's just kicks out. He doesn't. His timing is pretty good on that.
Yeah, but on that one specific moment, it was a full-on 3 count. And in the Beth Phoenix match, that was legit. She forgot that she was supposed to break up that pin.
Yeah. This was a fantastic match, though. Like I said, there were 2 ref bumps. Then Jimmy Uso comes in. Jimmy and Roman beat down Sammy. Then Sammy, I don't know, I can't remember. Sammy chases Jimmy away. Jey Uso comes in. Jey Uso did a Sami Zayn almost, where
okay, well, this is what you waited for. Someone at my work told me this. They're like, when you watch wrestling, they're like, anything you watch, you watch for the in-ring work. WWE, you watch to find out what happens at the end to continue storylines. So like nobody cares about what's happening in the ring in WWE. You just wait for the result. And mind you, this match was good, but like when this happened, this was like silence. We all went quiet. We're just waiting. What's gonna happen? And if that Jey Uso spear into the corner or whatever, the hell of a kick, whatever happened, if that results in him turning on Sammy now, I'm going to be so upset with the storytelling.
I don't think it will, but I think it's going to lead going like this is post-match. Roman retains. Like I said, that's what I didn't like about the finish. There was that whole spot with Jey Uso, and then Kevin Owens comes out after, like, Roman starts beating Sammy down with the chair, and Kevin Owens comes out and he saves Sammy. Sammy's confused as to what's going on, and Kevin just kind of looks at him and walks away.
So when Kevin Owens came out, I literally looked at my friends and said, "This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen."
Because after everything that Sammy's done for him, or to him, I should say, why would you still stand up for the guy?
Well, because he did turn on them for Kevin, and the whole time Kevin never stopped believing in Sammy.
That's true.
If that was the case, then he could have came during the match when one of the reps were knocked down. You know what I mean? Like if you're talking about storytelling.
Yeah, it would have made more sense if he came out when Jimmy came out.
Yeah, watch the crowd's reaction. I'm like, what's the point of him coming out right now?
It's too late. Sammy's already lost.
He already lost. So,
but I think it was this was WCW style storytelling where you brought him out specifically for the pop of the crowd.
Yeah, but watch the crowd reaction. It was like half and half. There was
no pop.
Like some people were like, "Yay, he's coming out." Then some people were like, "What's the point? Like, what?" You know what I mean? But
it is setting up what I called 8-9 months ago, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos for the tag belts at Mania. That's going to happen.
Cody Rhodes has to win this title. It's there can't be any interference by one of these other wrestlers taking one of the belts.
What has to happen is every member of the bloodline has to be in another match, so they can't be at ringside, or they have to ban the bloodline from ringside.
Also, I called this would happen, that they were just saying that the Usos couldn't get here so that they could bring them out mid-match and have them do something.
Yeah. I think what needs to happen over the next few weeks, Cody has to have a match, say, against Solo Sikoa, and he gets to choose the stipulation kind of thing. So if he beats Solo, then the bloodline are banned from ringside.
Yeah, that's fine. You could do that.
I just feel like the wrong person is in the main event for WrestleMania. I'm sorry. It's just like you got.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not the biggest Cody fan either.
Okay, hold on.
No, all the momentum is with one dude. Now you're going on straight on to Cody. I can guarantee you, if Cody wins, people are going to turn on him the next night. Or
this is WWE.
Or
Cody is like god tier over at this point.
Now, what
he just dropped two of the best promos that WWE has done since the Attitude Era.
What would happen if this becomes a three-way match?
Cody Rhodes is going to win.
Listen
to what I'm saying.
What if they both
pin? Win.
What if they both what if Sammy is in this match too? They make it a three-way, and both Sammy and Cody pin Reigns at the same.
Who's on SmackDown?
But wasn't there like a rumor not too long ago
Sammy.
that Roman was going to fight twice at the event?
That's before they found out that The Rock was not coming.
So have Sammy replace Rock. Just go with the original idea. Like, I don't know.
WWE does not want Sami Zayn to be the face of the company.
Yeah.
Well, if they ever needed to go to what was it, Crown Jewel or whatever it is?
Yeah, Sammy won't go
anyway. But then you got another champ that he can still go. I don't know.
I just want them to split the belts, period.
Yeah, split the belts. I think you leave the other one on Roman for a bit. Just let him be the face of SmackDown.
But the thing is, this match is going to be for the unified belts.
Is it?
That's so stupid.
But I think there's only going to be one belt at the end of Mania, after Mania. I think the night after
Eagle.
I don't know about that because they're really sold on the network logo belt.
So it's gonna say Fox.
Yeah. Kind of like what the AEW is doing with the TBS and the TNT belts.
But see how they made them their TV titles for those belts and not
Yeah.
the main title?
Yeah. But I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, there are rumors that Cody was going to bring a version of the Winged Eagle back. Unless Cody's getting a custom belt a la Jeff Hardy or with his logo on it.
Like the MJF belt?
Yeah.
No, like who was the one that had a custom belt?
Bray Wyatt, Steve Austin had the
Wyatt
smoke.
had one, yeah.
Steve Austin had the smoking skull belt.
Yeah, for literally like a day.
Yeah, it lasted 1 week. But I think they might. That's what I'm afraid of. They might give him like that belt with his logo on it.
Listen, let's be honest. In the world of WWE, and like I hate saying this because it feels like, oh, we just hate WWE or something. But in the world of WWE, Cody is so head and shoulders above most of the talent that they have.
Yeah.
That it's like when I pick apart the rosters of AEW and New Japan specifically, there's so much legitimate superstar caliber wrestlers. WWE has like 4 people that are superstars, and the rest of them are all like the next tier down. And
yeah,
like even to me, Roman Reigns doesn't belong there. There's nothing you're gonna do to convince me that Roman Reigns belongs in the top tier of WWE.
what do you mean?
I disagree with that.
He's not that good of a wrestler. He's not that good of a promo cutter. He's not that good of a character.
Neither was Lesnar at some point, but
Lesnar. I'm not saying Lesnar was good.
Yeah,
No,
I don't think
but-
Lesnar's top tier either.
but
I'm just tired.
John Cena wasn't either. It's
Oh,
like
don't
these are the
start
three
with that.
people of that
Yeah.
have been chosen to be pushed after the Attitude Era. It was these 3 guys.
like
And
one
Randy
thing that
Orton.
Dino's trains that he could sell.
Yeah,
could definitely take a move,
Roman
man.
Reigns is a
Yeah.
good wrestler in a match with someone who can carry a match.
A la like Sami Zayn.
Yeah, when you just have 2 guys that if you have him facing anyone that's a lower caliber than him, the match sucks because he can't carry a match. He can add to a match, but he can't carry a match.
Yeah, he's no Jay White.
You know, when Jay White gets there, I kept telling that. I was trying to explain that to Danny. I'm like, I don't think people understand who don't watch New Japan the level of star that he is. Like,
Yeah.
he's one of the best wrestlers that's working right now. His in-ring moveset is crazy. He's the best heel that exists currently.
When we do our review tomorrow, we'll talk about that because we don't want to spoil what happened in that match.
Well, I don't think whether that match happens or not, everyone has an idea that he's leaving New Japan. So
yeah. But it's only a matter of time in that point. So with that, what would you Caps, since you're returning, what would you rate this show out of 10?
6.
wow.
That low.
Yeah, it's just an
Interesting.
6.5. There you go.
Okay.
I refuse to go next.
Okay. I actually scored it pretty high. I scored it a 7.4.
Mm.
I hate you.
Why?
7.5. Why do you did you just steal things out of my head? I
No.
think in comparison to other WWE
Okay.
events, this was
Campo,
just
in all
entertaining.
fairness, your tastes and my tastes are very similar in that regards.
It's
So
grown
we know-
that way.
Sorry?
Like, last year's ratings were not as close as they are this year.
No, but the more we've watched over the last little while, the more our tastes have kind of gelled.
Yeah, it's funny too because whenever at least when we used to have both
Mhm.
Caps and Putty, always one of them had a score that like shocked us.
Yeah.
Always one of you guys always was close to us, and the other person was like way off. But it like
Putty with his
rotated.
Ant-Man score.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a 12.
The movie
But
sucked.
yeah,
12.
6.5. I mean, at least you didn't hate this.
Yeah.
I thought they put their best efforts. I just thought that the botches and the horrible storylines were
Too little, too late kind of thing.
it's just
Yeah.
I mean,
s-
I can't blame you for that.
So for you, it was the men's chamber that was match of the night? Caps?
yeah.
Campo? You're probably going to say the same thing as me then.
Okay, the Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn is match of the night, but I think that the Elimination Chamber was the most entertaining match of the
Yeah,
night.
I can agree with that. I think the Sammy Roman match had the most emotion, I guess, behind it is a good way to put it.
I think it's so strange that you started off and this no other company does this. We've had this talk. You started off with like your weakest match. In mind you, like I think every match was entertaining here, especially because the Brock Lesnar match was 4 minutes. But you started off with your 2 weakest matches. Like most people will put a good match first so that it gets the crowd into it.
If the men's chamber started the match instead of the women's, this be a different show.
I think we might not have liked it as much because you would start off so strong and then enter weakness.
True.
But I mean, they need to just figure it out.
It's what I call video game booking. You got to get past that. You know, when you play a game and it's a 40-hour game, you got to get past that first 5 or 6 hours and then the game starts getting good. That's basically what it is. If you get sit through those first matches, then
I call that the Red Dead Redemption 2 problem, where I just couldn't get through that first 6 hours. I was like, Jesus, this is so bad. It's not that it was bad. It's just so much video. And like, I don't care. I want to play the game.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Even playing Hogwarts, I kind of felt that for a little bit too.
I played it for literally 40 minutes and I was like, when is something going to happen? Everything is me just waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
I'm still in a tutorial 40 minutes into the game. Like, anyways.
It gets better after 12 hours. Just like Final Fantasy 15. It gets better after 40 hours.
It gets better when you finish it.
Because it's done. With that out of the way, thanks again for joining us. Stay tuned tomorrow. We will have our New Japan Battle in the Valley review. I don't think Caps is joining us for that one, but Campo will be there for sure. So with that out of the way, thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you all tomorrow.